Welcome to State House Rock. I'm Policy Specialist Ryan Roth. Governor Pritzker gave his State of the Budget address on Wednesday virtually in a historic first. Both chambers adopted rules that will allow for committee hearings to take place virtually as a result of the pandemic. The budget speech began by comparing the current pandemic with the Spanish flu of 1918 and focused heavily throughout on the administration's response. Pritzker proposed closing $932 million in corporate loopholes, including $16 million from the elimination of the income tax credit for construction job payroll expenditures, commonly referred to as the Blue Collar Jobs Act. The act was scheduled to take effect this year, but was suspended by the governor. The governor's budget projects nearly $42 billion in revenues for the upcoming fiscal year. Projected expenditures amount to $41.6 billion, resulting in an estimated budgetary surplus of $120 million. Since March of last year, Illinois has received $9.9 billion in federal aid related to the pandemic, including $1 billion for airports and highways and almost $800 million in grants to support businesses and assist units of local government with COVID-related expenses. Governor Pritzker requested a standalone FY21 supplemental bill of $60 million in federal funds to fund operations and technology upgrades for the Department of Employment Security this year. A second request of $73 million in federal funds is being requested for the FY22 budgetary year to continue this work. The state's capital plan was briefly mentioned, with the governor touting 1,700 miles of roadway and 128 bridges repaired or replaced by IDOT. $103 million has been released for improvements at higher education facilities, as well as $115 million for internet connectivity. In total, $4.3 billion is available for FY22 capital appropriations, with about $3.5 billion of that going to IDOT. Former House Speaker Michael J. Madigan has announced that he will resign his seat at the end of the month. He has served in the Illinois House of Representatives since 1971 and was the last member of the General Assembly to have been part of the Illinois Constitutional Convention. The General Assembly will next turn its attention to conducting hearings on hundreds of bills being introduced. Those hearings will be conducted throughout the spring in a combination of virtual and in-person settings. We will keep you posted as issues develop. That's it for this edition of State House Rock. Thanks for watching.